Krypto's inside adventure. In the vibrant skies above the bustling city, Krypto the superdog soared with boundless energy. His pristine white fur caught the sunlight, his red cape fluttered heroically in the wind, and the familiar S emblem on his blue collar gleamed like a beacon. He was a legend among those who knew him, a superpowered canine with strength, speed, and senses far beyond any ordinary dog. But lately, his adventures had taken a deeply personal, intimate turn. A persistent gurgle rumbled from his swollen belly, the sound vibrating through his powerful frame as he twisted mid-flight to admire the hefty, rounded paunch swaying beneath him. "Wait, is that?" Krypto murmured, his ears perking up. His tail wagged with pure delight. The belly was enormous now, full and taut, sloshing warmly with every flap of his legs through the air. Another deep gurgle bubbled up, making him grin widely, sharp teeth flashing. "This is surprisingly cozy." Deep within that cozy, churning chamber, the digested remains of several devoted adult fans mingled in a warm, loving embrace. These weren't random victims. They were enthusiastic followers who had sought him out, drawn to the superdog's legendary status and craving the ultimate connection. Krypto had welcomed them all with open paws and an unhinging maw. It began a few weeks earlier in a quiet corner of the city park, where a small group of adult fans had gathered for a secret meetup. They were all in their 20s and 30s, writers, artists, gamers, and professionals who idolized Krypto from online forums and rare public sightings. One bold fan, a tall man with a backpack full of fan art, had approached first. "Krypto, if you're real and you can hear us, we want to be part of you. Forever," he'd said, voice trembling with excitement rather than fear. Krypto had landed gracefully, cape settling around him. His golden eyes sparkled with curiosity and growing hunger. The fans surrounded him, petting his fur, snapping photos, and sharing stories of how his heroic deeds inspired their lives. The bond deepened quickly. When the first fan stepped forward willingly, pressing his head against Krypto's drooling lips, the superdog's instincts took over, jaws stretched wide in a smooth, powerful motion. The wet heat of his throat welcomed the man with rhythmic gulps, the bulge traveling visibly down his neck and settling into the expanding belly. The others watched in awe, some cheering softly. "It's happening, he's really doing it," one woman whispered, her eyes wide with anticipation. One by one they followed, each offering themselves in acts of profound devotion. Krypto's belly swelled dramatically with each addition, growing rounder and heavier until it dragged slightly against the grass. He sat back, panting happily, tongue lolling as thick drool cascaded from his jowls. Gurgle. The sounds of digestion began immediately, affectionate and relentless. By the time he flew home that evening, the cozy fullness was already setting in. The fans inside were no longer separate. They were becoming one with him, their essences nourishing his powerful body. Back in his spacious downtown penthouse, a luxurious space with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the glittering skyline, Krypto flopped onto the oversized brown leather couch with a contented whump. The apartment was his sanctuary, filled with soft lighting and views of the city that never slept. His massive belly spilled over his lap, soft and heavy, jiggling with every breath. Scattered across the cushions and floor were the polished remnants of his devoted followers. Pristine white skulls, some still glistening with residual slime, a mix of clear drool and thicker greenish digestive fluids. Gurgle! Krypto let out a wet, echoing belch that misted the coffee table. He licked his chops, smiling that perfect blend of dopey and dominant. "Ah, you all feel amazing in there." One paw rubbed slow circles over the dome of his gut, feeling the bubbles pop and the contents shift warmly. The skulls around him served as quiet tributes, each one a fan who had begged for this closeness, their final moments filled with bliss rather than terror. He remembered the second wave of fans vividly. Word had spread through private online communities. Krypto offers the ultimate inside adventure. A new group arrived at his balcony door one rainy night, 5 adults this time, equipped with nothing but their clothes and heartfelt letters. They knelt before him, sharing stories of their ordinary lives and how his existence gave them purpose. Krypto listened, tail wagging, before opening wide once more. The process was intimate and unhurried. Grugh. The first fan's head and shoulders disappeared into the dripping maw, followed by eager swallows that stretched Krypto's neck impressively. The others helped guide each other, hands pressing gently against the expanding throat. His belly surged outward again, the fresh weight making him groan in pleasure. By the end, he lounged on the couch exactly like this, surrounded by the growing collection of skulls, his red cape draped over the armrest. Now, as city lights twinkled outside, Krypto tuned into his favorite evening ritual. The massive TV flickered on, showing a live stream from one of his most dedicated adult fans, a charismatic gamer in his late 20s known online as Pixel Pup. The man had streamed his journey to the penthouse weeks ago, saying goodbye to his viewers with tears of joy before becoming part of Krypto's collection. Watching old clips of him now felt wonderfully nostalgic. Krypto bit down on a fresh skull from the latest batch, the bone crunching satisfyingly between his powerful jaws. Greenish slime and yellowish chyme dripped messily onto the couch, adding to the iridescent sheen that had developed on the leather from countless feasts. "This guy's streams were the best," Krypto murmured, mouth full. He swallowed the crushed remains with a loud gulp, sending another wave of gurgles through his system. His belly responded appreciatively, the heavy mass shifting as more was absorbed. The apartment had transformed into a den of indulgence. Bones and half-digested personal items littered the space, a worn wallet here, a smartphone case there, even a crumpled fan shirt emblazoned with a cartoon Krypto. The couch sagged under his weight, rainbow reflections dancing across the wet surfaces from the city neon filtering through the windows. Krypto's appetite grew with each passing day, but he was selective, only true adult fans who understood and craved the inside adventure. They came in small groups, drawn by rumors and encrypted invitations. One memorable evening, a trio of fans, a graphic designer, a software engineer, and a fitness instructor arrived together. They were all in their 30s, fit and eager, sharing laughs and nervous excitement as they entered the penthouse. "You've changed our lives, Krypto," the designer said, reaching out to stroke the dog's fluffy chest. "We want to be closer than anyone else ever has." Krypto's response was a happy bark followed by an enormous yawn. His jaws unhinged smoothly, saliva dripping in thick ropes. The fitness instructor went first, stepping boldly forward, schlorp. The dog's tongue cradled him gently as powerful throat muscles pulled him inward. The bulge was prominent, traveling down and adding to the already massive belly. The engineer followed, then the designer, each one embraced fully by the warm, pulsing interior. Inside, the stomach chamber was a crimson, fleshy paradise. Thick, muscular walls massaged and churned, bathing everything in affectionate enzymes. The air was thick with warmth, and the sounds of digestion, deep rumbles and soft burbles. Personal items from previous fans floated in the yellow-green pool, a set of keys, a notebook with final journal entries, even a pair of glasses. The new arrivals settled in, their forms gradually softening as they became part of the cozy whole. From the outside, Krypto patted his swelling gut proudly. "He, my love for all of you is so, blissfully complete." A happy, cartoonish vision of his own smiling face seemed to echo within the sloshing mess. "I longed to have you here, and now you are. Don't worry, you are part of me now. I only wanted you because I love you all so much. You're finally perfect and safe in here with me." One fan's voice echoed faintly from within before fully succumbing. "You are my absolute favorite hero." But it was Krypto's devotion that dominated. The superdog lounged back, eyes half-closed in ecstasy as the gurgling intensified. The close, personal moments were Krypto's favorite. In front of the full-length mirror one morning, he admired his reflection up close. His golden eyes burned with intensity, cheeks flushed beneath the white fur. His mouth hung open wide, revealing sharp fangs glistening with thick, yellowish drool that stretched in sticky strands. Steam rose from his throat, carrying the rich scent of processed devotion. A small white thought bubble floated above his head. "My gullet aches for your whole being, a longing to hold you within me always, innocent, whole." He stared at the dripping maw, imagining the fans nestled deep inside. The reflection showed a perfect blend of hero and glutton, powerful, affectionate, and utterly satisfied. Krypto closed his jaws with a wet smack, then flopped back onto the couch, belly wobbling heavily. More fans arrived over the following days. A writer in her late 20s brought chapters of a story she'd written about him. A musician played a short melody on guitar before offering himself. Each time, Krypto welcomed them with the same loving ritual. His belly grew ever larger, a soft, jiggling monument to their collective adoration. the penthouse filled with more skulls, arranged almost reverently around the living space. Some perched on bookshelves, others lined the base of the couch like loyal guards. News reports began appearing on the TV. Citywide mystery, hundreds of adults reported missing. No leads. Images of smiling men and women flashed across the screen, faces Krypto recognized instantly. He chuckled deeply, the sound rolling through his massive frame. "You're probably wondering about all these missing people," he said aloud to the empty room, a smug speech bubble forming in his mind. "My secret is, I'm not just fat. They are my fat." He rubbed his enormous paunch affectionately, feeling the layers of absorbed fans adding to his strength and vitality. The cozy sensations never faded. Every gurgle was a reminder of the bonds formed and sealed forever. Nights blurred into a rhythm of feasting and relaxation. Krypto would patrol the city skis occasionally, his heightened senses picking up the subtle signals from new potential fans, eager hearts beating faster at the sight of him. One night, he descended into an abandoned warehouse where a dozen adults had gathered for what they called the ultimate meetup. They had prepared signs, snacks, which Krypto politely ignored, and heartfelt testimonials. As the moon rose, Krypto made his entrance. The fans cheered, surrounding him with hugs and pets. The feasting began slowly, almost ceremonially. Gulp after gulp, his throat worked tirelessly, belly expanding in waves until it was a colossal, swaying orb. He flew them all home afterward, the added weight making his flight majestic and heavy with purpose. Back on the couch, surrounded by the ever-growing skull collection and rainbow-slick cushions, Krypto watched old streams and reflected. The digestion process was thorough and loving. Inside the vast, cavernous stomach, the walls pulsed with care. Nutrients flowed, bones polished clean over hours, everything contributing to his perfect form. The fans' essences mingled, creativity, strength, laughter, all absorbed into the superdog who had given them what they desired most: eternal closeness. Krypto stretched luxuriously, his red cape shifting over the massive gut. A long, satisfied group belch erupted, filling the room with greenish vapor and tiny flecks. He licked his lips, eyes sparkling. Best adventure ever. Word of the inside adventure continued to spread quietly among adult circles. More fans sought him out, each group adding to the cozy depths. Krypto's body thrived, muscles stronger under the padding, senses sharper, spirit brighter. He still soared through the skis daily, belly full and swaying, drawing new admirers who understood the call. One quiet afternoon, with sunlight streaming through the windows and the city humming far below, Krypto lounged deeply into the couch. Skulls clattered softly as he shifted. His tongue lolled, and another deep gurgle rose from within. He smiled, paw resting protectively over the warm dome. Anyone else ready to join the pack? The penthouse fell into peaceful quiet, broken only by the constant, affectionate symphony of digestion. Krypto's tail thumped happily. In his world, every fan was cherished, every meal an act of pure love, and every moment inside him an eternal, cozy adventure.